Hey, copy cousins. It's Jeanette, the digital content manager here at Opens Clicks Cash. And today we're going to be talking about how to create a task inside of ONTRAPORT. So a task is something that you would get after an event happens. It could be anything. Someone makes a purchase, someone books a consultation call with you, something happens, and then the automation will send you a task that you need to complete for whatever just happened. Okay. So we're going to do that inside of ONTRAPORT today. But before we do, I just want to say, make sure you like this video, share it on your social media channels. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe now, because every Wednesday and Friday, we give you videos on how to grow your business. Okay. We are on a mission to help as many entrepreneurs as we can reach their first or next six figures in business. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so for today's example, we're going to pretend as though we're selling consultation calls. Someone booked a call with us, but now we need them to answer some important questions about their business and their goals before we meet with them so that we kind of know what to expect and how we can help them, right? Okay, if you remember in a few videos ago, I taught you how to create a form. And I also, in a separate video, taught you how to set up your booking pages and, create all of that. So I'm not going to go back through that today. Today, we're just going to focus on someone completing a form and then the automation sending out a task to yourself or a team member. It could be, maybe a virtual assistant that you have working for you, someone who will be in charge of reviewing those responses to make sure that, you have everything you need before you meet up with your client. Okay, so let's hop inside of ONTRAPORT and we will get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is go and create a task. Okay, so hover over contacts in the top menu option and then scroll down to where you see messages and click there. Then you're going to click on this orange box that says new message. And then at the bottom left, you'll see task and you'll click there. So I'm going to give this a name at the top left. And then the task subject, this is what the recipient of the task will see in their inbox once the task goes out to them. So I'm just going to give this a quick subject line. Someone just booked a please review their information. All right, so the task owner, I'm going to do contact owner. You can, select a specific user, or you can select a specific role. Roles might be a little bit safer just in case your team changes over time or whatever. You make sure that nothing falls through the cracks, basically. So, or you can just keep it as contact owner, because then you will, have access to all these tasks and nothing will fall through the cracks. So I'm just going to leave it as contact owner. And then I'm going to use these merge fields, the drop down for the merge fields. I'm going to use that in the message here so that when the recipient or the virtual assistant gets this task to review these questions, she will or he will see exactly what was filled out on the form. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. First, let me give it a quick greeting. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and include all the information that was completed on the form. So the best way to do this is to go back to the actual form. This is the form I created. It's pretty straightforward. Go through each of these merge fields and then add them to the message, just so you make sure that you don't forget anything, okay? And also another thing that I do is I always type out the merge field before I include it, just so that if there's anything missing, you would know once you open the task and you review it. So I put name, I typed out name, and then I put the merged fields for first name and last name. All right, so if the person completes the form and they don't complete that information, it would just say name and then it would be blank. So that's a good way to kind of just keep track of what was completed and what still needs to be done. So I'm going to go ahead and write out email, include the email merge field. And I'm going to go through each one of these and make sure all of it is inside the task, so that once the VA receives it, they will see everything that was completed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick now. All right, so as you can see, I went ahead and added all those merge fields. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip to the task notifications. So for the task notification, who do we want this task to go to? So in this example, we're talking about this going to a virtual assistant, but we have to put their information in here. So for this example, I'm going to go with a specific email address, but again, you can, go by a user specifically, or a specific role. Again, the contact, all right, so the task owner here at the top, even though they own the task and they have access to it, they are not responsible necessarily for completing the task, okay? So this task notification section is where we decide who is supposed to get this and complete it. So I'm going to put specific email address here. And then they're asking, when do we want to notify them? So we're going to notify them as soon as the task is assigned. All right, so this person will get it as soon as it's assigned, and we're gonna go ahead and write in, I'm gonna write in my email. All right, so that's done. And now we're going to add our task outcomes. So task outcomes are just what happens after the task is reviewed and everything is done. So we want to give them two options. We're going to create an outcome that says information received, client is ready to go. Gonna select, and then we're gonna save. And then our second option is going to say client needs to clarify some of their information. I will reach out to them. All right, so we're going to click select, and then we're going to click save, okay? All right, so you can create outcomes based on whatever the task is in your business, or whatever makes sense. But these are the two outcomes that I selected. Where it says include form, this is optional. I don't use that, so we're not going to go over that. I'm just going to go up and click save in the top right. And now we can go ahead and build out the automation. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so of course, we need to hover over the context menu option and then go down to automations, click there. Then we're going to click on new automation. And we are going to build this from scratch. And of course, I'm going to give this a quick name at the top left. And just in case you don't remember from the last video, every automation map inside of ONTRAPORT comes with a trigger. So the first trigger that they give you is if someone is added to this map manually, excuse me. No one is going to be added to this map manually because they have to complete the form first. Okay, so where it says what happens next, we're just going to put an end here. Oops. Let's see. And then we can click on the end and click this box to remove them from this automation, because I assume that if someone is added to this manually, it was a mistake. So I'm going to remove them. All right, now where there's a little arrow here, I'm going to click to add another trigger. And then the trigger that we need is that a form has been submitted. So I'm going to click on form. Or excuse me, I typed form and then the option came up, contact submits form. Don't want to confuse you guys. All right, so the trigger settings on the left, it says who can activate this trigger, any contact in the account. Yes, that's going to stay the same. And if the contact is already on this map, then ignore this trigger. This one's a little bit tricky because we know that people can book a consultation more than once. But in this case, I think I'm going to do add here again when triggered. This is just in case another form is completed. Maybe if there was an error with the first one, or like I said, they book another call relatively close together or something like that. We do want them to be able to activate this trigger again, and we want the task to be able to go to the VA again. So I'm going to click done there. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't add the form. So let me go back inside there, and where it says contact submits, I'm going to click the form, and it's the consult question form. All right, so where it says what happens next, I'm going to click there, and I'm going to add a task. Oh, let me move my window over because it's in my way. All right, so where it says what happens next, again, I'm going to click there, scroll down, and then I'm going to add this task here. Now, side note, I'm adding the task right after the form is submitted because once we go through this part where I actually test this out, I want to be able to get the task right away. But in your business, I'm sure you don't want to get tasks all times of the day or night. So what I would suggest is the very next element that you add under, you know, the forms being submitted is a wait. So you can add a wait that has specific time frames. Like maybe you only want to get tasks Monday through Friday at, you know, around 10 a.m. So you can set that up so that your VA or you or whoever is going to get this task is not getting tasks at odd times when they may not be working. Okay, but in this example, again, I am just going to add the task next. I'm going to click there. Oops. Click there. And they're asking me on the left which task. So of course, we just created that together. I'm going to click that one. And then I'm going to scroll down and click done. All right, so once this task has been sent out, we want to set up a goal on this automation map. So of course, the goal would be that the person, whoever gets the task, in this case, our virtual assistant, completes it, right? So the goal is going to be that they completed the task. So I'm just typing task and it says task is completed. It comes right up. On the left, the settings, who can achieve this goal, any contact on the map. That is correct because you can't get on the map unless you fill out the form, which is what we want. And then if the contact is already on the map and they achieve this goal, yes, we do want to move them here because that is the whole point of this. So I'm going to click, oh, I'm not going to click done. Let me, so there, we know that the goal is for the task to be completed, but they're asking again, which task? So I'm going to select the task, and then they're going to say, okay, it's completed with which outcome? So we're going to do one for each outcome. So information is received, client is ready to go. That's going to be our first goal. And then we are going to click what happens next, and then we're going to allow them to leave this map. So of course I added an end first. Then once you click on end, you can select, check this box that says remove contacts. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to copy this goal so that I can create another goal with that second outcome. So what I'm going to do that is click on this cross in the top left corner of the goal itself. I'm going to drag it over to the arrow. And I'm going to copy this item and all following items. No, you know what? I'm going to only copy this item. I'm going to tell you why. So let me go inside the goal. I'm going to change the outcome. And let me scroll down. So right now it says information received, clients ready to go, but I'm going to change that to client needs to clarify some of their information. I will reach out to them. So I'm going to click done there. Now, what if someone or what if your VA selects this goal? What do we want to happen? Okay, so how long do you want to give your VA to actually accomplish this? Okay, so it could be, 2 days, it could be a week, it just depends. In this case, I am going to put a 2-day wait because I think within 2 days, your VA should be able to contact the client, get the clarification that's needed, and complete the task. So I'm just going to put 2 days. Again, you can put whatever you want, but just keep in mind that the person may be scheduled, the next day or something like that. So you might want to do 3 hours. Okay. You already know that the task is not going out except Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. So you might, think that that's enough time for them to get it done that same day. It just depends. So I'm going to put 2 days. You put whatever you like. And then where it says what happens next, we're going to click a go to. That's under filters in the elements tab. And then right here, I'm going to drag this go to, and we want our VA. Come on, go up. Sometimes it just doesn't go up. So you have to kind of work with it. Let's take the slow route here. All right. We don't want to leave it on the wait. I just did that so that I can move it up easier. All right, so if the VA selects the outcome that they need to contact the client to get more clarification, then they're going to get 2 days. And then after that 2 days, they're going to get the task again. And then hopefully this time when they get the task, they'll select the other outcome that says the client's ready to go, okay? All right, so now when it comes to this weight right here above the goals, this weight is important as well because it's asking how long do you want to give your virtual assistant to actually select an outcome. So again, I am going to go in and select 2 days. I'm going to select some time passes and I'm going to do 2 days. And I'm going to hit done, okay? Again, you can give them a week, you can give them an hour, it just depends on your workflow and what you think is appropriate. And then where it says what happens next. So if they don't complete this task within the 2 days that you've given them, what do you want to happen next? What I want to happen is I want them to get the task again. So I'm going to click on filters and click another go to, and then I am going to make sure that they get the task again. All right, come on. All right, here we go. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. Keep in mind that there is only one way off this map. The only way to get off this automation map is by selecting the outcome that everything is received and the client is ready to go. All right, so let's tell the story from the start and then we'll go ahead and test. All right, so the only way to get on this automation map is by completing the form. So a client has to complete a form first. As soon as that happens, as I said before, in your case, you're probably going to have a wait here and you're going to select the time or days where you want your task to go out to your virtual assistant or to your other team member. In this case, I just selected, that the task will go out immediately. Then once the task is given, the virtual assistant will have 2 days to complete the task. Okay. So, You can change that you can give them a week, you can give them a month. It just depends on you and your business. So I'm giving them 2 days. If they do not complete it in 2 days, they're going to get the task again. Okay, so it's going to keep recycling until they complete the task. But if they do complete the task and they select that everything's good to go, client's ready, then the task will be completed. The contact will leave this map and they'll be all set. But if they choose this other goal outcome, I'm sorry, the task outcome, and they say, hey, I need to reach out to them, we're going to give them another 2 days, and then we're going to send the task back out to them, and this starts again. All right. So hopefully that second time they'll select that everything's good to go, and the person will leave the map and everything will be done. All right, so now we need to just publish this automation map. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go ahead and publish it. All right, perfect. So now the only thing that we have to do is we have to go ahead and test out this form. So I'm going to complete this form as a client would, and then we're going to go to my email, check to make sure that the task came. We're going to complete the task, and then we're going to go and look at the automation and see how everything went. Okay. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I just want to show you, I did go ahead and complete the form. And now I'm going to click submit. I got my thank you page. All right, so now I'm going to go to automations, and I'm going to refresh this because it should show that there is one person on the automation. So I'm going to refresh it. This takes a second. All right, so now we can see that there is someone here on the automation. Now let's go to our inbox. All right, see, I got my task. Here it is. It says ONTRAPORT task, and then someone just booked a consultation call. Please review their information. This is exactly what we created. Now look, see all the information that I put on the form as a client came through in the task. It says, hello, someone has, oh, y'all didn't even tell me there was a typo in my task message, but it's okay. Someone has booked a consultation call with us. Please review their information and make sure that we have everything we need before we meet with them. Okay, so we have their name, email, we have the business name, products and service description, their website. So of course we have all the information that they filled out on the form. And now we can go ahead and click here to complete the task, okay? So it says right here, please select a task outcome. So if you want to make notes here, or if the VA wants to make notes here, they can, but usually they'll just click here to select the outcome. So the outcome could, it can go either way. Information received, client is ready to go. I'm going to click there and I'm going to mark as done. And then I'm going to go back to automations. I'm going to click inside so we can see it. All right, so you can see what happened. It came down through this automation. The task was completed and they left the map. All right, so now I'm going to do this again really quick. I'm going to select the other outcome and I'm just going to show you that the task came back again. Okay, so I'm going to do that really quick. All right, so I did go ahead and complete this form again, and I just thought about something. So before I actually submit it, I'm going to go back to the automation map. Oh, this is tasks. The reason why I was in tasks is because, of course, I had to change that typo. That's just my type A coming out. So I'm going to go back to automations, and I'm going to click in here. And I told you that I wanted to fill out the form again and select the other outcome. But if you recall, there is a wait, a 2-day wait right here. So I'm going to delete this wait just so you can see that the task recycled and it came right back to me. But ordinarily there would be a 2-day wait, and that person, obviously there would be a 2-day wait there. So I'm gonna delete this wait just for the purposes of this automation. So at the top of the automation, I could just click edit, and I'm gonna delete this wait. And they were just basically telling me that if you ever delete a wait and there's someone on the wait, you would lose that contact. Okay, so they would no longer be on the map anymore. But I'm safe to delete it because I didn't select that outcome yet, so nobody was sitting there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save and publish this. All right, and then I'm going to go back out. And again, I did fill out the form. I'm going to go ahead and submit it. All right, now I should get my email right away with the new task. Let's just refresh this to make sure that I did come back on this automation as the second client, so to speak. So yeah, so you can see there, I am on here again. So there were 2 people on the automation altogether, but there's one person that's on there now, because remember the first time I selected that the client was good to go, so they were taken off the map. All right, now let's check my email. All right, so here I got the task again. Okay, so see, I changed it here. Someone has booked the consultation call with us. All right, so now you can see the different information. Jeannette Green, I changed the email, I did all that, changed all the business information. So again, I would need to click this link to complete the task. So again, this time I am going to select client needs to clarify some of their information. I will reach out to them. And I'm going to click done. Now the task is complete. Now, ordinarily, the VA would get 2 days to reach out to them and correct the information or get the additional information as needed. In this case, I'm going to get the task again right away. Okay. So it literally came within seconds. All right. See, it says 0 minutes. This is it. All right. So they're pretty quick. Okay, so again, I got all the same information again. I'm going to click here to complete the task. And now this time, of course, I'm going to go back and select the appropriate outcome. But I guess I can show you on the automation what is going on. So as you can see, the person is now here and they're waiting. So you can click on the number and it'll show you like who it is. Okay, so see, it's me. And this is the second client that I filled out the form as. So that's how you know it's the right person and they're in the right spot. But you can also see that, I did complete the task with this outcome and then they went back up. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the task itself and I'm going to click information received. Client is ready to go. I'm going to mark it as done. And now that person is going to leave the map. So I'm going to come in here, I'll refresh. And as you can see, 2 people, both clients, got the right task outcome, that everything's good to go. And then there was one that I did, of course, where they needed clarification. All right, so that is that. And I just wanted you guys to see like how it works both ways. Okay, so whether the task is completed and done right away, or whether the task is completed and there is some more information that needs to be taken care of. All right, so I really hope this was helpful and that you guys use tasks in the future inside of ONTRAPORT. Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions or you want me to go over anything else. Again, I will be happy to do another tutorial on tasks. All right, have a good one.